to make these special flying machines. And there's a great difference between the UFOs perhaps you're speaking of that are coming from other planets. I believe that not all, but there are some who are endeavouring to help wake up the human being and wake up the consciousness before it's too late. I believe that more of us are supposed to communicate with the people who are in these vessels, and we're ready. And I believe even if I go to the UK, a study was done quite recently, I think it was 2 years ago, asking people, a survey, if they believed in UFOs and aliens, and I think it was an unbelievable 78% said yes. And I thought, yes, people are opening up to this ability, like, of course they exist, like that's normal. And already we're in a situation with governments and rulers where they think it's too late, we can't let the people know. That decision was made a very long time ago, and now they're going to look like idiots and liars if they let the truth out. And they've always believed the people will panic. I do not believe that. People are actually much more ready for this than they could imagine, but they would lose control on ruling the people.
Now, I've done some of my own research about these people who speak the truth out, or who experience certain number of significant events in their lives that connects to the truth, and they have been attacked by electromagnetic weapons. Do you know any sort of solutions with your power of thought that could help prevent these people from being attacked?
Well, you're really covering everything in there. There are an awful lot of people that I know of, perhaps because of my work, who would make contact with me, who do have attacks. But of course, first you have to check that these aren't people that have gone off on one, and that they have had attacks, and they're not making it up. But there are certain protocols that you would connect to recognise whether they've been burnt or hit in some way. And when people are speaking truth, and again, you've got to so much know what is truth. They're fine as long as they keep under the radar. It's a sort of known fact. But as soon as anybody is speaking the truth and going too far out there, they will be targeted. There's no question in my mind. They'll be threatened and they'll be targeted. And there are all these weapons, you can see them on the internet if you're a good researcher, that exist. Okay, so one, people are being attacked and they know it. Two, you can see and find all these weapons on the internet, which means there are companies that have made them, bless them. And so then three, you have to ask, what are they doing with these weapons? Is it supposed to be for all these amazing wars we have across the world? Excuse me, what wars that we're creating? And that's not me included here. And so you have to know that they do exist. And if they do exist, then you only have to take a small leap of faith to realise that they could be used to stop people speaking out openly and in their truth. Every one of us as humanoids knows if you hear or see someone speak truth. You have an inner knowing. You can tell even on a TV if somebody is a liar. We know it. It's in there. So you can't actually con all the people. You cannot do that. And the times now we're in, right now, everything's changing. So people are knowing this truth. And so the weapons that are being used against them are quite serious. So it is time that actually we all made contact with each other, recognise what's happening if you're over speaking out the truth. And there are some quite famous names who have quite big followings who are being attacked. And it reads like a protocol list of what sort of attacks they get. It's not one type of EMF weaponry or microwave weaponry. There are many types of weaponry, and there's no question, I know they exist.
Would you say that these are alien technologies, or technologies that one has attained and developed through their contacts with beings from other planets, or UFOs just being found in different places.
What I know is that the technologies, I mean, in the past less than 100 years, the speed of technology on planet Earth has been immense. And I do know that there's been some from aliens or beings that have come from other planets, and they're far more intelligent than us. And deals have been struck. They've been the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're not all bad. But, to put them all in one bag and say, is not true, and they're not all little green men. Some are human and some are amazing, and some have come here and warned the leaders not to do what they are doing. But we've had leaders, and this goes back to 1942 and on, who have thought they rule the world, they rule the universe. They do not. And they don't enjoy being warned not to do certain things. Then there have been others who have made deals for the technology and used it very successfully and very secretly. Very secretly if you're a normal human being. And the mass majority, are not to know. The people are not to know.
Great information, thank you. Currently, this time period, a lot of people are going through a lot of problems, and do you have any message to give to them?
I think at this time it is only through the trauma of problems and it's like a wake-up call. It's rather like shaking through an earthquake, and the outcome of what takes place wakes us up. And I believe that it's through that turmoil, and it is going to hit everybody's backyard, there's no question in my mind. The fact I've been talking about it for 30 years is just because I was a little bit ahead of myself. But I would say this, that, it's centering yourself, research and find out the truth. Do not believe all you find on the media, especially not the Western media, and truly start sensing what you believe is true, and feel calm that not everything is supposed to be fed in fear, and that we can empower ourselves and actually find ourselves and feel that sense of freedom, which is what a lot of people are endeavouring to do now, and feel freedom instead of being caught in this terrible rut of slavery, which is what our world has ended up giving us.